Does the ambulance part come later?
It might come right next because that happens after they switch away.
Well, let's talk about it when we get to that.
That was the most gruesome.
That was my favorite scene in the whole movie. Holy fuck,
the afterwards part where rolls out?
Oh man, all of it. From the time they show up to the time they get fucking taken out down the road. Yeah. Holy crap. There was nothing about that scene that was not fantastic.
All right, everybody, welcome to Nerds. Is that started?
It started.
All right, everybody, welcome to Nerds of a Certain Vintage. As always, I am Patrick.
And I am Andy.
And we are nerds who are here for our first episode of March Brewery.
March Brewery.
It's got brew in it. Yeah. March Brewery.
Yeah. So we'll have some beers.
Yeah. So what are you drinking over there, Andy?
I'm having a Tavern Brown Ale.
Nice. I'm having a Trader Jose's Dark.
Trader Jose's.
Yeah.
So, have you had it before?
I did, yeah.
Is it slightly below room temperature?
It's definitely, you want to taste? It tastes, it's got a sepia tone to it. There you go.
There you go. That explains everything.
It's all beige.
That's right. It's dry and dusty. I feel like someone's about to pull a 6-gun on me.
Yes. Yeah.
That's okay.
Focus on it. Yeah. So for we're starting March Brewery with our Bonkers BanaPants movie, which is
Cocaine Bear.
Cocaine Bear.
Cocaine Bear.
There's a cocaine bear out. And so we went to see this afternoon. I'm going to give you my quick rundown, or do you want to do the 60-second summary first?
A bear eats cocaine, kills some people.
Goes crazy.
Yeah. In all honesty, the storyline is entirely vacuous. Really.
If
you think about it.
I'm going to start this by saying I enjoyed the movie, but I think I would have enjoyed it more if it had been just a little bit campier.
A little bit campier.
Yeah, like just a little bit more tongue-in-cheek. Rather than there was some serious storylines going on in this movie that I was like,
I see what you're saying.
There's a bear on the loose who's taking cocaine, and you're trying to get me to care about a guy who's lost his wife and who can't take care of his kid.
In all honesty,
had a fancy dog though.
He did have that other guy had a fancy dog. That was in a whole different character.
I mean, this is ostensibly this movie is supposed to take place in the 80s because that's when the event took place, I think.
Absolutely. and that's one of the things that was fun about it is that it really
there was some period.
It did that 80s vibe, It had 80s music in it. Yeah. It had the 80s like clothing.
Yeah.
So anyway, the movie starts with a guy in a plane throwing bags of coke. And it's not like there's any question. We know what he's throwing out of the plane.
Right.
It's cocaine.
And this is the real story of this because this is quote unquote based on a real story.
Right?
And this is the story. Like a guy throws a bunch of cocaine out of the plane that he's piloting because he thinks he's being followed, jumps out with it.
Okay, and that was going to be my question. Why was he throwing it out? Because the plane did not seem to be in distress, like it was going to go down.
The stuff I read ahead of time was that he thought he was being followed.
Okay,
and so he was dumping the cocaine and then was going to jump out after it. And of course, he dies in the jump.
Right.
And so then it's about this story about a true bear who got into a bag of the cocaine, took a bunch of it, and ended up dying. But that doesn't, that's not the story you want to tell.
So that's the true story. It's not like he went crazy and killed anybody. He just ate a bunch of cocaine and died. They found an OD. Well, that seems more reasonable, really.
Yeah. This bear was down in whole kilos.
He was a mutant that could tolerate. She was a mutant that could tolerate massive loads.
Because her vagina's on my ear.
There's no way her vagina was on his ear. Because the way they were laying was head to head. Her vagina was on his ass at best. And considering his size, more likely.
Unless I don't understand bear physiology at all.
Exactly. Are there vaginas in their necks? They have vagina necks? Okay.
Neck-ginas.
So bears have sex in the 69 position. I was unaware of that. I missed that biology class. Makes sense to me. So anyway, that's the premise. This guy thinks he's being followed. He throws all his cocaine out of the plane. In the movie, he goes to jump with a parachute. I'm not sure if he's got any training because he immediately conks his head on the door, knocks himself unconscious, and just falls. Yeah, and ends up. Apparently, his emergency chute, I guess it's automatic. It just comes out. I don't know.
It must. Yeah, it must be.
So he wasn't. It didn't stop him apparently from hitting the ground very hard and killing himself. Because that conk in the head shouldn't have killed him. Well, that was the thing. They showed his face and it wasn't like crushed in. And I was like, okay.
Like,
he came out pretty pristine from falling from that height.
Especially considering some of the other kills that they showed.
I was like, why don't you
took it pretty gentle on that guy.
Get to the gore, man.
There must have been something in his contract that was like, don't mess with this. This is the money maker.
Exactly like that. I'm like, I want you to show his face like Lena Headey in Dread, you know? That's what it should have looked like.
It should have. That is true.
But anyway, all of this cocaine is all in the woods, and so then it sort of goes into that community and the various ridiculous characters who live in that community.
It's loosely based on an actual bear that died. It says, no rampage by the bear ever actually happened. In fact, no attack by the bear were recorded at all. Rather, this was inspired by a Reddit post's recounting of the story in which they concluded, quote, there was probably a 5-minute window before he died where he was the most dangerous apex predator on the continent.
Yes, exactly.
That's what you would expect. Like 5 minutes of just frenzy.
Right.
And then, dead.
Yeah. Carrie Russell, that's what it was.
Carrie Russell.
So she is a single mom with her daughter. She has to work.
This has named actors who you know by their face, but not so much by their...
Ray Liotta.
Ray Liotta.
Was
Alden Ehrenreich.
I'm just going to call him Han Solo.
All right.
So
O'Shea Jackson Jr.
Looked familiar, but I really don't know anything else.
He's Ice Cube's son.
That's fine.
He's been in a couple of different.
That's the thing. I'm looking at him more as an actor and what's he been in.
Like Margot Martindale.
She was the park ranger, right? Yeah.
And a couple of other people.
So let's summarize. The nurse mother is there because her kids have gone to paint. Her daughter and her friend Henry, the best character in the movie, have gone to paint the falls.
Right.
Not in a vandal way, although I'm still a little suspicious.
Right. Carrie Russell.
So she is a single mom with her daughter.
And her daughter's like giving her shit about wanting to go on a date.
You're trying to introduce me to your boyfriend. Don't do that. Yeah. I'm the worst child ever, and I'm unlikable, and I hate everything. Give your mom a fucking break, man.
Yeah. She's working nights so that she can have a little extra cash so you can mark up your kids.
So you can go vandalize nature.
Yeah.
What is painting the falls? What does that mean?
No, she wanted to draw a picture.
Paint the falls. Okay. I immediately thought
you took that way too literally.
I did. I took it the wrong way.
She had a backpack full of paint supplies and stuff.
I'm not buying it. This was a vandalism project.
All right. Okay.
Yeah.
With little Henry along, I can imagine.
I'm 12.
I want a little cokehead.
I'm 12. I want to go with my canvas, paint the falls. Oh, come on. That's what all 12-year-olds want to do. The mom has to work. They can't go paint the falls, so the kid decides to skip school. Once again, she's a truant. She's a vandal.
Bad kid.
Yeah, there's nothing likable about this kid.
Her Brooklyn Prince is her name.
Yeah.
Playing Dee Dee.
Yeah, and I'm joking. She was a lovely little girl, but
smart kid.
Yeah, she's a smart kid. She enlists. She's a bad seed, man. She enlists her friend Henry into it.
I'm pretty sure Henry
just wants to go to school. He wants
Henry
to be a regular
did not want to go to school.
He even said, "Why do I keep skipping school for you?"
Because his father is a dickhead.
Well, yeah, there was reference that his father was...
You think my dad's ever done cocaine?
Oh,
your dad has definitely done cocaine.
Your dad has done lots of cocaine. No, it's a tale as old as time. He's skipping school because he likes her. He carves their initials into a tree.
He does.
More vandalism, more nature destruction.
Yeah. Don't take a shit over there.
Exactly. I'm marking our territory. Don't take a shit over there.
That's a pretty good That's a pretty good writing in this movie.
I don't know why she went to write this shit. Usually peeing is how you mark things, but especially men, that's how we mark things. We pee on stuff.
Unless you're doing something with your shit that you don't want to
talk exactly. About. Oh, they're painting the falls. Then you have the park ranger and her crush,
right?
Who
are going in on some nature.
They need to go to count animals,
beavers or something. Right? They're supposed to be going into the woods for some kind of a. Peter, the guy, is some sort of a nature conservationist guy,
right?
And he wants to do a tally of the animals, but he doesn't like calling them animals. They're their friends, you know. And so, Margot, of course, is hot to trot. Like, she got a dusty beaver. She's trying to.
That was a great line. She had an actual like stub beaver on the thing, and he's like, "You have a dusty beaver," and she's like, "I'm working on that."
I'm trying to get that taken care of.
Right. And then you have the drug dealer. He's not there, but his son and his right-hand man are going to look for this cocaine. So
this is Ray Liotta, Alden Ehrenreich, and O'Shea Jackson Jr.
Oh, the drug dealers, right.
And Alden doesn't want to be there. He wants out of the family business. He is Ray Liotta's son, and he wants out. Like, his
wife died.
John has died. And
his wife, Joni. He tried to get a tattoo, and they put Johnny on his chest.
And so he's best friends with O'Shea Jackson Jr., who is
Ray Liotta's right-hand man.
Ray Liotta's right-hand man. And they're out in the woods trying to find the cocaine to, like, recover it.
Okay. So these are the three groups.
The cop is chasing Ray Liotta.
And
the three toughs. The three
well,
kids.
they're kind of extraneous. They kind of cross the line between the park ranger story and the drug dealer story. Who are hanging around the fucking park.
Just randomly stabbing people.
Well, like holding them up for money. That might have been the cocaine talking, because they found one of the keys. And then you have the cop who knows that this cocaine has been dropped in the woods, and he's going to try and find it so that he can get a line on Ray Liotta's character.
Line.
Now, when
he said line.
I said line, man. Anybody who would have said line when talking about Cocaine Bear would be a genius. Really.
Yeah.
Not about me, because we didn't talk about that. When these two little kids found this kilo of coke before the bear attacked them, they like the kid Henry was trying to act like he had done coke before. He's like playing it all cool and stuff.
We need to sell drugs.
She's like, how much? And she's like, I think this is coke. And he's like, no, it's usually more powdery.
Yeah.
Not bricky.
Yeah.
and she's like,
when I do coke with what's his name, Worm, after church on Sundays.
Falk.
Yeah.
Yeah, whatever it was.
Are you friends with Falk? No, he's a perv.
Yeah. But he's like, oh, I do coke all the time. And she's like, cut it open. And she's like, how much do you do? And he's like, I think about a tablespoon.
She just digs that.
She takes her knife and then she puts.
This is like, probably the most response from the audience, because everybody's like, oh shit.
Oh no, don't do it. Yeah, like we all are very aware of what cocaine can do. Yeah, the three toughs show up just because when the drug dealers get there to start looking, one of them has to go into the bathroom, and the toughs decide they're going to try and like hold him up with their knife.
Like, there was a little bit of a struggle to it.
You're some kids. I'm going to kick the shit out of you.
They were clearly outmatched.
Yeah.
Except he got shanked.
He did. He got stabbed in the shoulder with a butterfly knife.
Yeah. Finally wakes up one of them because they find that the toughs have a brick of cocaine.
Right.
And so he wakes up one of them and is like, you're going to take us to where this cocaine is. You're going to take us. And so this leads to Alden Ehrenreich, O'Shea Jackson Jr., and one of the toughs walking through the woods.
What's funny is they leave the other two just piled up in the bathroom, and they got fucked up because this dude was like slamming them into sinks and throwing them into corners. Okay, so the park ranger and I don't know if you can really go through this in a linear.
This is not linear because the storylines bounce back and forth.
Don't you mean linear?
Yes, linear. So Peter, Ranger Liz, and Sari, who is Carrie Russell, so they are looking for her daughter, and they stumble upon Henry up in a tree.
Way up in a tree.
Plus, he's like, there's a crazy bear down there. I'm not coming down. There's a crazy bear.
That was what was so funny, is they're not listening to him at all. Like, okay, you got a kid up a tree, and he's like, there's a bear. There's something wrong with it. No, bears are our friends. Yeah. Oh, you know what? You deserve to get eaten by a bear.
What did you do to anger the bear?
It's clearly your fault.
So the bear comes out, takes a swipe at Margot, like chases Jesse Tyler Ferguson up the tree. So Carrie Russell is hiding behind the tree that Henry is in,
right?
And the bear comes up and it starts climbing that tree, and Peter is in the other tree just across, and he's saying, climb faster, climb higher, go higher. And the bear looks over, and Jesse Tyler Ferguson's got
he had fallen
through.
He had crawled through a bunch of broken kilos of coke. Yeah, so he has it all over.
He's got cocaine on him.
He starts patting his chest, and it's like a cloud of it.
Yeah,
in the trailer, the bear jumps from tree to tree.
Yeah.
But in this,
it jumps down.
I guess they were like, that's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Like they're like, we can't have that. That's ridiculous. Unlike
a superpowered bear. Come on.
Like unlike all these other things, they're like, that's a bridge too far, man.
Yeah. And so the bear jumps down, climbs up the other tree, and just takes it to Peter. Just takes it to him. This is the first really brutal...
I understand the whole climbing the tree thing, because when you're on higher ground... Because Henry was doing this. He was kicking it in the face.
Yeah.
He's like, you
just don't want to get your foot in your mouth.
He's like, cash me outside, man.
Yeah.
He's like, come at me, bro. Let's go down. Let's go.
I got the high ground.
Exactly. I'm going to kick you right in your face, man. But Jesse Tyler Ferguson, man.
I don't think he had a moment to recover. That bear scurried up that tree.
That was the 5 minutes of cocaine action that bear had. He got up that tree fast, and he went after his leg.
Yeah.
So hung him over the side.
And Margot Martindale has been swiped in the ass. She got clawed.
She has her gun, and she's just like firing wildly. This is what I mean about her not having no ability with that firearm. She had the gun in both hands, like elbows bent, like right at her chest and face, like she's never held a gun in her life.
Yeah, she needed some time at the range. So she leaves to go back, ostensibly I think to get help.
Right.
But in the meantime,
she's angry as shit because something clawed her ass up.
Yeah. It gouged her too.
The fuck out of her ass. And when she gets back to the park,
I never thought I'd see Margot Martindale's ass.
I think you still have it. In all honesty, I think that was a prosthetic ass. I think that was clearly a wounded stunt ass.
Right.
There's no question.
And so she goes back to the
park office, park ranger office,
where the two toughs
who got beat up in the bathroom
are still there.
Yeah, they've called the ambulance because one of them has a concussion. That was an interesting scene because they're talking about different things. They're talking about the drug dealer guy. She's talking about the bear. Right. But they seem to act like they think they're talking about the same person.
Right.
Like that dude, that
thing's dangerous.
He's dangerous. And he's like, I know he's dangerous. Like, get back and stuff. And she and
something knocks at the door.
And they think it's the drug guy. And she thinks it's the bear, and she's like got her gun out, and she's like, "Get away from the door! Open it slowly." And like, what are you just gonna shoot him?
Yeah.
She's like, "Hell yeah, I'm gonna shoot him!"
So, and this is pretty gruesome if you really take a step. So she counts down, tells one of the toughs to open the door. Uh-huh. The door opens. The bear's just sitting there, and the framing of the picture is that you're looking through the door.
Right.
The tough's on the left. She's janky-handed like Margot Martindale in the far end.
I know, this is what I mean.
And she's ostensibly going to shoot the bear.
That ranger should not have been given a firearm.
It's like she had cocaine. And so she shoots and just blows this kid's head off. Like, boom, straight through. Like, boom.
A big hole in the left side of his head, right above the eye. Like, that whole section just vanishes into a mist of bloody mess.
Yeah, and so he falls over. And the bear jumps and runs away.
His buddy is like, what the fuck? Like, he's got blood and brains all over his face.
She has blood and brains all over her.
It's all splattered everywhere. And she's like, close the door. And he's like, what the fuck did you do?
I want to know what was up on the roof. Because there was something climbing around on the roof that she was tracking.
Oh, I'm sure it was Cocaine Bear.
But the Cocaine Bear was like all of a sudden at the front door as well.
Don't be predicting where Cocaine Bear is going to appear.
Yeah, teleportation.
Cocaine Bear has super magical powers.
So the other remaining tough closes the door and
does what everybody does that they should never do.
The door.
He puts his back against the door with a glass window in it.
Yeah, and the framing of that picture, you know something's going to happen because it's like normally you'd frame the face center, but no, you got the face and the one empty window.
A less restrained director than Elizabeth Banks probably would have shown that face after Cocaine Bear stuck his hand through the window and clawed that face off.
Yeah.
And in all honesty, I'm not sure that was a great move on Elizabeth Banks' part.
Yeah, I don't. Did she direct this?
Yeah,
I thought she
wrote and directed it. I believe. I could be wrong. Maybe she was a producer.
Yeah, directed by Elizabeth Banks. Written by Jimmy Warden.
I've seen
because they've also been bouncing to the family drama of her traipsing through the woods
trying to find her daughter.
Trying to find the daughter
who was dragged to the bear nest to feed the little bear.
Family part, the Kerry Russell and like the Henry. Mm-hmm. Henry is the greatest character in this movie, but it's kind of a boring story. Like them just following the clues to find her daughter. It's like the daughter is leaving clues. Henry's like, I'm really will there be long-term health problems for the bear?
If anybody did cocaine? I'm thinking about the bear, really.
You have to eat, though.
Okay. I'm going to just jump to the most unbelievable thing. What did that bear drag that kid off to the cave for? To feed the kids?
Exactly. Yeah.
He's high on cocaine, man. He's not like, gotta feed the kids. Yeah. She's not like, I gotta feed the kids. Better drop this other human kid in there for the baby cubs to eat.
If you can get past the idea that a bear is ingesting like whole kilos of cocaine
and then
just kind of shaking it off
and not having immediate heart attacks.
Yeah. All right, so we gotta just give up the idea that there's any sort of logic to this movie.
Right.
It's mostly just it's a prelude to just getting like a fucked up bear on the rampage. Right, that's what it is.
Exactly. And you, well, I'm beer faking. Hold on.
So now we get to the part where the ambulance shows up, and two characters, Scott Seiss and Kyun Kim, Tom and Beth. They are the they're the paramedics.
They're the ambulance folks that show up. Yeah. Well, and the kid with the hole blown in his head is blocking the door.
Right.
So they have a little conversation about pushing the door open.
Yeah.
And when they get open,
he's like, "How's that feminism for you?"
Yeah, like he can't move the door because there's a big giant dude in front of the door.
She's like, "Let me do it."
And she's like, "Let me do it." So she starts. She's like, "Can't move." He's like, "How's that feminism working for you?" And I'm like, "There you go."
And you got to remember, they have come here for someone with a concussion.
Yeah,
and then walk in on carnage.
The toughs called because they got beat up in the bathroom, and one of them, this bandage is all over his face. Not the dude that got shot in the head. He he got the least of it, really.
Well, at that point,
yeah.
Eventually, he got that is some sort of concussion.
A brain injury, certainly. Yeah, that's a TBI. Traumatic brain injury seems like a reasonable description of what happened to him.
So they get the door open, and they're just traumatized. Like it looks like carnage. There's blood everywhere. The tough, the brain injury guy, head blown up.
The brain injury guy. Yeah, the dude with no brain left in his head.
The traumatic brain injury guy. He's like laying on the ground. They're stepping over his goo and blood.
Yeah.
And so they split up. She goes behind the counter, which is where Margot Martindale is.
Right. And Margot Martindale is too injured to speak.
Yeah.
And she was trying to say bear, but she can't.
She's just like,
and then she eventually, and there's a door that's closed.
Yeah.
And the other paramedic goes back and he opens the door, and in it is the other tough, pretty much dismembered. Yeah. And then there's a great scene where he
falls over.
Yeah, into a bucket or out of a bucket. Yeah. Like that bear was very neat to be like stacking him up in a bucket and shit. But there's a dark corner, and then there's a great scene where the bear's head comes out, and
the guy just slowly closes.
He's like, he's like, there's a fucking bear.
Right. So he closes the door from inside, right?
Right.
So the bear would have to tear down the whole door jam, but in this case, it's just the door has been pushed down on it. All right, so fine. But this bear is now on the top of the door, and poor Tom is just underneath the door.
But what's the name of the female paramedic?
Beth.
She's able to get Javier Martindale out of the
Margot Martindale.
Margot Javier out of the room, and with her damaged ass, with her clawed ass and various other damages from the thing, get her into the ambulance, strapped her down
in one of the wheel things,
right, and didn't close the back doors. Just
of course not.
Took off
and takes off because she sees the bear now.
Right, she knows the bear's there.
And this guy only survives because his medic bag is red. And so he hits the bear with his medic bag, and it flies.
And the bear's like,
more cocaine, because that's the same thing as all of the other cocaine bags.
Yep.
And so he gets up, runs out. Meanwhile, she's tearing off, and he jumps in the back of this car. If that girl had just paused for like second, those doors would have closed and they could have gotten away. But this is probably the most gruesome part of the entire the entire movie, which includes dismemberments of people. Like, this ambulance is just tearing away. Margot Martindale strapped into a gurney on the back.
Still got her gun though.
Still got her gun.
Got the gun that she doesn't know how to shoot.
Yeah, like she's shooting away, and what's his name? Tom is back there because he's been able to jump in.
Right, Tom Javier.
Tom, yeah. So he's in there, and he's telling him, like, drive faster, shoot, don't shoot, like, all of this.
Don't shoot me. Why are you got a gun?
Yeah.
Oh, for the bear. Oh, shoot the bear. Yeah.
Meanwhile, this bear, like, is full on. Like, it is, like...
He's doing flash style super speed, man.
This must have happened because, like, this happened after the bear ingested a whole kilo of cocaine. And did a little dance.
It's hard to tell.
Yeah.
I can't remember the timing.
I don't remember.
This movie was so complicated.
Yeah.
So complex. Man. So incredibly complex.
Yeah. It's got the best script. And so the bear jumps and lands in the back of the thing, tosses Margot Martindale out, and she
skids on her fucking face in the gurney.
Flips over and slides, which is disgusting enough in its own sake.
Man, that was fucking gory as shit.
And attacks Tom, and his arm like falls over.
Yeah,
at the wrist, it's been bit, and it's just like at the wrist, but it hinges at the wrong part of the arm.
Right.
And he gets tossed as well. And she gets, like, thrown through, like, she drives into a tree and gets tossed through it. So it's carnage there. And the bear's just like, doo-doo-doo, on the way.
I've murdered everyone. So fun.
Yes.
This is the best
None of them
ever.
have cocaine, though.
I'm getting tired. I need some more cocaine.
Let's go find another kilo.
It's all over the forest. Yeah. What were we saying again?
So we've switched from that storyline to David, Eddie, and the Tough. The Tough has they've convinced the Tough to take them to where he has hidden a bag of the drugs at a gazebo.
So they're all in the woods now.
Yeah. Now he's leading them, and he's having a nice conversation with Alden,
with Javier Ehrenreich. Yeah,
he's
exactly.
Like, they're becoming buddies.
Yeah, they're playing 50 questions.
20 questions.
Is it only 20 questions?
It's only 20 questions.
I kind of like...
And David is down to 3 questions remaining because he just keeps guessing specific things.
Exactly. Like, well, that's explained later. He knows how the game is played.
Is it Abraham Lincoln?
Is it bigger than an Abraham Lincoln? Is it smaller than an Abraham Lincoln?
Is it bigger than?
Because he knows what it is from the start. He just doesn't want to guess it. Yeah. And that is the only thing we're not going to spoil.
That's
we're not going to tell you.
We're
not going to tell you what that is.
What was the 20th question?
Yeah, go watch the movie, man. Fuck. Yeah. Come on.
We're not going to give everything away.
I know. Just almost all of it.
Yeah. So he's leading them to the gazebo where the drugs are, and the other party, the cop, gets there first and finds that a bag of drugs is stuck in the top of the gazebo.
Later on, when they find him on top of the gazebo, they're like, how'd you get there? He's like, I climbed over that tree and I jumped. Now
he has the high ground.
Yeah.
And one of the funniest parts of this whole movie was when they're doing the standoff and he shoots O'Shea Jackson's fingers off. And the guy looks at him, he's like, how do you shoot those 2 fingers off?
He didn't shoot. They're not
even next to each other.
He didn't shoot 2 consecutive fingers off. He shot off like the middle finger and the pinky. Yeah. And missed the fucking ring finger. I was mystified too. I was like, holy fuck.
Maybe it was a ricochet.
That's not true.
Maybe you reached...
It bounced off his gun
and
took out the other finger. That you know what? I think you've solved it.
Maybe
I was mystified, and now I am not. Now I'm like, that's it. That's it exactly.
So now David is missing 2 fingers and has wrapped up his
favorite jersey, which is already damaged from him getting stabbed in the back. Dude, don't wear your favorite jersey to work. I'm just saying.
Yeah, with his new Air Jordans that also got ruined.
Exactly.
So this is where
I'm sure my son was like, "Yeah, man.
Yeah, why would you wear those? Out into the woods?
Damn, blood on your Air Jordans. God, oh man, this is a tragic film.
You just stepped in a creek.
If I looked at my son and there was like a tear rolling down his cheek, I would have been like, "Oh, I get it. I get it. You know, you like those Air Jordans, don't you?"
Yeah. All right, so this is where there's the standoff. You've got the cop on the top of the gazebo, the bad guys, Eddie, David, and the tough. I don't know who the tough's name is. Down below, and David now has the gun, and so they're in this standoff. This is where the bear comes. And the bear is reaching the end of its high.
Yeah.
Clearly it's reaching the end of its high.
Not just 5 minutes, but like 6 hours.
Yeah, it's 6 hours happened here. The bear, because Eddie and Stash have been told to lay on the ground by the cop.
Right.
The bear just kind of rambles up to Eddie and just collapses and falls asleep. And this is where Eddie says it's a girl because its vagina's on my ear. This is still a standoff because David is trying to figure out whether the bear is alive.
When he comes, he's got his gun. He's hiding. The cop on the top of the gazebo doesn't know where he is. And then the bear collapses on his buddy and he's like, "Truce, I gotta go. I'm gonna go see if I
just want to see if it's alive."
Yeah. And he goes over and
he's got a brick of cocaine that they've found.
Yeah, in the waistband of his belt or some shit. And when he goes to listen to the bear's heartbeat, it falls out of his pants.
Yeah, and the bear is like,
his eyes open and shit.
Yeah. He's like the Lucky Charms,
the leprechaun.
Yeah, he's like a trickster rabbit.
I'd sell my soul for some Lucky Charms.
Yeah. I'll suck your dick for $10.
I'll suck your dick for some Lucky Charms.
He's ingested this kilo of cocaine, and he's just kind of squitching across the ground, and he gets up and he's all over Alden Ehrenreich, and Alden's like, "I don't like this.
I don't know what's going on here."
Right. The cop also, because he has the high ground and a big duffel of cocaine, he tears one and sprays it, and so the bear goes for that, and then he throws it, and he tells the kids, he's like, "I'm trying to stay, run, go."
Yeah.
So this whole scene ends with the a couple of people running off. Eddie and Stash, they run off. David is still like, I need that bag. I need it. I can't let you leave. And all of a sudden, Sid shows up with a sniper rifle and takes out
the cop.
Yeah. And so
Cop was my favorite character too, man.
I kind of hoped that he would survive.
Yeah.
I was hoping he would survive and go back to his fancy dog.
His fancy fucking dog. That dog was fancy, man.
So now I think we're basically at the end game, right? Mm-hmm. This is the everybody at the cave. Well, we only have two parties left.
The main, the
Carrie
mom,
Russell and her kids.
The mom and Henry have gone looking for Dee Dee, and they've tracked her because she's been dropping her art supplies all the way to the cave on the other side of the mountain.
Yeah, sometime. Sid, Eddie, and David show up along with Officer Reba, which we did not talk about that turn.
Yeah,
but we don't need to. It's not that big a deal. No. So they show up at the cave as well. And then it's not really a cave; it's more like a tunnel, because it goes through to the back of the falls.
Right. The secret falls.
Because
they were going to paint as vandals.
And of course, as soon as I saw it, I was like, "Oh, they're jumping in that water." Oh, they're absolutely jumping in that water.
I'm like, what are you talking about? That's ridiculous. It's so dangerous. Why would they do that? But you're right.
They're jumping in those. They're jumping in that water.
It was Chekhov's waterfall.
Yeah, it was Chekhov's water.
Yeah, Chekhov's river. That Chekhov, man, he knows his
everywhere.
shit. Yeah,
he's everywhere.
When you write a screenplay, man, Chekhov is whispering in your ear.
Yeah, he's your co-pilot.
Hey, you need to show a river, because guess what?
Yeah,
someone gonna jump in that river. They're gonna jump in it.
Chekhov is my co-pilot. And so they're on the ledge, and
beer fake. You beer fake.
Did I beer fake? Sorry, I did beer fake.
I have to throw it out there.
Yeah, when you recognize it.
Mm-hmm.
Game recognized game, right?
Yeah, exactly. I know what I see.
So, they're all on this ledge, and of course this is a showdown where Eddie and David show their humanity and Carrie and the two kids jump into the river. Eddie and David jump into the river.
Yeah, Sid's gonna
and
shoot.
Sid gets
there just conveniently happens to be another duffel bag of Coke hanging near the falls, just out of reach. Yeah. And Sid is like, we got to get those drugs, and
the bear is just going to leave that. The bear's going to find the hard to find drugs first,
right? But the ones that are right at home, like right there, those. Yeah.
That's rainy day fun.
Well, it's obviously the bear evolution and the nature of bears to like leave the easy stuff and go out for the hard stuff and just come back to the easy stuff later.
Yeah, that's because
it's storage. They're storing it. Yeah.
It's Winnie the Pooh's pot of honey.
This is well known about bears. Yes. I think.
I get it. It's the picnic basket.
It's science, really.
Yeah. Sure. And so, we don't have to spend a lot of time on this because the good guys get away and the semi-good guys get away, and Ray Liotta gets got.
Yeah,
he gets got.
He gets a cocaine bear claw like ripping his belly open, and a bunch of baby bears like dragging his intestines out.
Yes,
that was so fun.
It was so fun.
One of the best things ever.
Yeah, well, the mama bear wants to show them how to hunt.
Exactly. That's if you're going to turn your nose up at a little intestine, then how are you going to survive in the wild, man?
Yeah, you need. That's the gooey bits. That's where the real protein is.
Half of your actual diet is going to be intestines, man.
Yeah, you eat the gooey bits.
Get used to the intestines, dude. You don't like it? Tough shit. Eat the intestines.
And so, the end of this movie...
I did not go to the store and buy you intestines for you to just turn your nose over that shit.
Yes,
you little son of a bitch. Come on.
Somebody eating those intestines. It ain't going to be me.
Somebody eating them intestines. That's right.
So at the end of this movie, the people who survive, Carrie Russell and the two kids, Alden Ehrenreich and David, they survive.
Yes.
Alden Ehrenreich...
They're going to run because obviously the Colombians are going to be coming looking for their drugs. And when you tell them the story about the cocaine bear, they're going to be like, what?
Yeah. That's where you say, like, listen, all of those bags of drugs are still there. If you want to go get them...
Here's what the Colombians say. Like, okay, the drugs disappeared. And they're like, I got a story about... let me explain. We have heard everything. Yeah. There is nothing you could tell us about how your drugs disappeared that we have not heard before. Okay, here's the story. Yeah. This bear ate him, and he killed everybody, and it was a mess, and it was all the news. Okay, I have not heard that one before.
So, Mike scale then. Where are we on the Mike scale with this?
It was fun.
This was fun.
Yeah. I mean,
I wouldn't watch it again, I don't think.
Oh, I'll watch it again. I mean, just for the gore factor. I mean, there's some fun there, but there's actually tons of plot flaws in it, and...
I still think it would be better if it was just a little bit campier, if it leaned a little bit more into the camp of it.
Maybe.
It's the kind of movie that, like, my wife would have absolutely despised this movie. Like, watching this, she would have been like, I'm done. I'm leaving.
Yeah, why do they have to be so violent?
Yeah.
Why does that bear on cocaine have to be so violent?
Yeah. Why do they have to show much blood? You know, why?
Like, why is there gore? Why did they pull out Ray Liotta's guts, man? That's that's inappropriate. There's no reason for it.
It's not necessary.
That's right.
Yeah. All right, so let's bring this to an end. Beginning of March Brewery. I think the theme for this month, crazy animals.
Maybe. I'm down.
You down?
I'm down. Why not?
All right.
I can see the top 11. I'm not sure what the
how many could we get into a listicle?
Oh, I think easily 11. But
pop culture crazy animals.
Deep dive on Paddington.
That means you got to watch Paddington 2.
I know.
The greatest movie of all time.
I started to watch Paddington 1 because I'm like, I can't watch Paddington 2 until I watch Paddington 1. But
that's the completion.
I only got a little bit into it, and I was just like, that's all right. I don't know what's going on here, but apparently nobody is surprised by a talking bear in the subway in the train station. But
it does love marmalade.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I like oranges too, but marmalade, fuck.
Right. Oh my gosh. Well, listen. Oh, we've gone long. We're at like almost an hour and a half.
Oh,
does it seem like an hour and a half?
I'm gonna cut it down to 15 minutes.
Yeah, it's only gonna be you talking.
Yeah, it's gonna be like bear.
Cocaine bear.
That's it. It's gonna be a 3-minute video.
All right, well, listen, the dame has spoken, so it is time for us to wrap it up. As always, I have been
Titso Schneinbrew.
That's right, and I have been Top Gun Maverick. I didn't turn the light on. I can't imagine how dark this video is, but whatever.
That's all right. It's Cocaine Bear. Cocaine Bear ends pretty dark, by the way.
He does.
Like, it transitions into nighttime pretty dramatically.
That's why we did this.
That's right, exactly. It's thematically appropriate.
That's a lie.
She's being insistent now.
Indeed.
So
I don't blame her at all.
Yeah, it is time for us to wrap it up. As always, I have been Top Gun Maverick.
Top Gun Maverick.
And you have been?
Top Gun Maverick.
Sweet. Ditto.
You guys are weird.